Well, here they are, hobby maniacs, the new Wolfen. Today's feature is on, of course, the new White Dwarf that was spoiled, 2 weeks ago or so, igniting a whole fury on the internet of speculation and hope, and really just a really exciting time for 40K. It had been about 7 weeks of Age of Sigmar releases, give or take, with the whole New Year's thing and the new collecting army sets, and everybody was really super happy and pumped to see some new 40K. I feel like it just was like everything suddenly energized itself. It was just crazy to see all the traffic and all of the people talking and the comments, and just, it was just so awesome to see this excitement level, just the interaction on the webcast and stuff. So 40K is back. I don't know for how long, but at least 2 weeks, judging by what we could read in this issue here of the White Dwarf. But so let's take a closer look at that. Obviously, before we get to all that, I'd like to invite you to stay in the trenches, click on the Patreon link, and help keep us ad-free on YouTube in 2016. There's also some swag you can score, so click on the link and see what we got going on over there this week for free stuff. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out the blog, spikybitsblog.com, and head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today. So like I was saying, this is a really great issue, bringing the 40K back to 2016, and it's a really exciting time because you got these great models. They, depending on who you ask, they're either stupid looking or the coolest thing ever, which pretty much is how Games Workshop is always divided on their new releases. I feel like the contents we have, of course, the new releases, paint splatter showing you how to paint the new Wolfen models himself. And then a bunch of art pictures and the Curse of the Wolfen here, a Hall of Fame, the new Night Titan finally, I guess, got inducted into the Hall of Fame, which was great. Good to see. It's a great, solid kit. Very solid. It's only been around for, since 2014. I guess the new one, 2015, just the extra sprue there. But it's a great kit. Really cutting edge stuff there, even for something that's technically almost 2 years old now. And then this week in White Dwarf, which we don't really talk about. It's just some little vague updates and things. So here's a closer look at the models themselves. Now, they appear to be on 40 mil bases, which would make sense because they are bulky. But that being said, I don't think it takes anything away from the models themselves. I mean, these guys are kind of big. They're taking up a lot of space. They're doing some ninja flips and the things like that. So it's really cool to see the range of motion and how the bigger base we've all come to expect to be able to do some really cool looking stuff with the new Marines on 32 mil bases. So 40 mil for these guys being basically just a little bit bigger power armor, I think will really give some unique opportunities, and along with the terrain itself that is attached to their feet, to do some really cool hobbying, I feel like. So there's that, and then there's some more pictures of the different weapons. Now, we don't know exactly what weapon loadouts they're going to come with until we see the pre-orders go up for the new kit, which should be, relatively soon, depending on what country you're in, I feel like. So not exactly sure how robust their kit is going to be bits wise. I'm hoping that they come, I would like to give them all Thunderhammer Storm Shield or the Axe or all Lightning Claws. I really hope they come with those options, because when you see stuff like the way they did the Blood Angels tack, the Space Marine tacks, and even the Stern Guards, everybody getting those options. I mean, now you're talking at $60 for the kit, which a lot of people are balking at. You're talking probably a 3 sprue kit that takes up a lot of space, and that is a lot of engineering to have these bits in the kit themselves. So I'm really hoping we see that. I think $60 personally is a good price if all of the bits options are included in here. I'm not necessarily sold on a grenade launcher. I think you need one of them per kit just to get your assault grenades. I don't see them shooting because their weapon skill, or their ballistic skill, as we're going to see, isn't that good. And then here's the actual supplement book itself. Now, we don't know a whole lot about it yet, and it's just a certain amount of pages. I imagine it's going to be like 2 codex worth, just like we saw with the Monka and the Kalion release as well. Now this one is talking about in here some of the different stuff that's going to be included, and you can kind of get an idea here that there's going to be Great Wolf formations. There are also updated rules, psychic disciplines, and warlord traits for the Chaos Demons. Something about the new Hellforged artifacts. There's going to be some of those. Whether they're going to nerf the Grimoire, because a lot of people were upset about that. Remember, that might be a thing. It might be getting an update. Maybe that's why we never got an FAQ for it. Hard to say. If you turn the page, you can see the limited edition stuff here, the collector's edition, excuse me. Nothing's ever limited from Games Workshop. Remember that, guys. It's a trick. So you got the Curse of the Wolfen, the collector's edition, the Saga edition here, and then the Grimoire edition. What comes with a small Chaos Demons Codex. So I'm thinking they're not getting a revamp. They're just getting these rules to kind of give them a bonus or kind of something like a supplement. We're not going to see a new codex for them anytime soon. Apparently, I have a Facebook message. Didn't know that did that, but operating systems are always updating. So, but with this one, it's cool because they do include it, which I feel like is pretty cool. But also, if you read in here, they're saying that the psychic disciplines are now, there's 7 spells for them. So that includes 6 in a Primaris. But remember, they used to only have 3 in a Primaris. So did they add some at the end? Did they go a different kind of style instead of the D3? Don't know yet. They're also talking about Hellforged artifacts, new warlord traits, all sorts of different things. So I'm really excited. I'm almost more excited for the demon rules. And they're also saying that there's 6 data sheets and 10 formations. So that's 6 new potential units or changes to units. Like maybe they're changing Scarbrand, maybe they're changing Be'lakor, maybe Be'lakor is actually becoming part of the Demons Codex. It's really hard to say at this point because we just don't know. But the fact that there is 6 big fat data sheets in here is really interesting in and of itself, I feel like. And then of course the Curse of the Wolfen here. Apparently there's also a fire. I don't know. Nothing cool happens during the day until I go to make a video and then all hell breaks loose around here. It is absolutely mind-boggling, I feel like. Anyhow, so I like this set because it's got some cool dice, some cool markers, some artwork and things like that, and a little magnetic kind of flip out case. They don't really show you that over here, so I'm kind of concerned. Now, this one's limited to 500, this one's limited to 1,000, so I feel like they're going to sell out. Maybe I'm wrong, but you know, it is what it is. 12 special dice, and they're also saying that there's the companies of Great Wolf formations and some other stuff. I'd be really surprised if we didn't get some other data sheets in there too, besides the Wolfen themselves. And there's another something that kind of points in that direction, and I'll show you that here in a second. A big Space Wolf transfer sheet, the new gallery prints, and of course the hardcover short story collection there. And then they got some previews here of the Mastadon itself, and there's also some additional previews. I really like the paint splatter article. This is a good one. It's showing you a lot of different stuff, but to be quite honest, a lot of this comes from, it's the same kind of stuff that we saw in the Dwarf paint splatters over the past couple weeks as well. But you know, it is what it is. It's cool to see, you know, getting this specific shade of flesh that really goes with the wild hair kind of paint scheme here, and then this different kind of tonality of the skulls. I really like it. Now up here, next week, it looks like iron and fur. So there's going to be another tutorial, which probably means that there's going to be another miniature, which probably means that there's more data sheets in this book that we don't know about quite yet, I feel like. And that being said, there was definitely some really good looking artwork in here. Curse of the Wolfen. Then we get into the Hall of Fame section, and then the rules for the Wolfen themselves. Now we've talked in a great deal about these rules themselves over, you know, the past couple of weeks. You know, some first turn charge shenanigans, you know, just some good solid options for them in general. The fact that they're priced pretty competitively, but you know, at toughness 4, they're not going to do a whole lot of they don't have a whole lot of staying power to get across the board. That's why they need that speed. And I feel like if Harlequins or Dark Eldar were similar, had a similar build, just running across the table to get into grips, I feel like we would see more of those. Like if they had similar mechanics. Now granted, they probably don't need to be toughness 4, but if they had, you know, some of these similar mechanics like I'm talking about, I could see that being a thing. Hint, hint, Games Workshop, hint, hint, cough. Anywho, that's just my 2 credits there. And then we get into the actual Curse of the Wolfen chart and some of the war gear and things, but a lot of this has already been covered. You can just pause it and kind of read it there. We got the new camera going, by the way. Thanks to everybody so much for participating in the Long War Kickstarter, because a lot of the equipment that I actually use on a daily basis is part of the Long War Kickstarter equipment stuff we bought with the proceeds from that. So, but I am still, you know, sprucing up the studio with some other, you know, funds that are coming through Patreon and some of the other support, you know, stuff from the blog when we're not buying new servers for multiple thousands of dollars and things like that. So obviously a big thank you to everybody. Hopefully you're noticing the marked increase in quality and content, hopefully as well. Now, a lot more stuff planned, but enough of all that. The curse chart affects things differently. There's your basic units up here, not Thunderwolves, but everybody else. And then some stuff has +1, some stuff has -1, some stuff it doesn't affect. Like I said, Thunderwolves. And the chart is actually pretty cool. I'm digging the 4/5 on what is it? No, the 4/5 over here, where you get the extra 3 maximum move to all models, and then the Unstoppable Fury, which lets models swing even if they die. That one's pretty cool, and that confers. The Wolfen come with it, but this would confer to some of those other units there. So really cool stuff. And then that's pretty much it for the issue. There was this other thing in here about the Mastadon, which I was really digging. That thing is big. Look at all those compartments. It's like a friggin' battleship. And the whole premise behind the Mastadon basically is that it uses all these melta blasters in the front to punch a hole through fortifications, and then these huge pistons to basically kind of like a reverse clamshell, just kind of getting in there, digging in with those front prongs right into the breach, and then basically forcing the breach apart with those huge powerful pistons. And then it's basically like a breaching tunnel for Marines. There's a ramp down the back so they can come up behind it, travel through it, and be protected and get into fortresses, or already be inside of it and get into the fortress itself. So it's a really interesting concept of how it all works physics-wise and combat doctrine-wise. Now, is it realistic? I don't know, but it seems cool. It definitely seems something that the Ironwares would take. So clearly, I need to get one of these, if not to review, to keep myself. And then the big teaser for next week is We Unleash the Slayer, which may be Ulrich the Slayer, it may not be, and maybe something else that we don't know about. Maybe it's Murderfang. I don't know. Maybe they tricked Murderfang, they got him into stasis, and now he's coming back, and Bajorn's coming. Oh, we didn't show you that. Well, anyways, that's where is it? Oh, I skipped right over it. So pretty much the most important part of our, I just skipped over. So apparently, Crom Dragongaze, the guy from Sanctus Reach, the guy from what was it? Stormclaw, the Stormclaw box special character, he basically got demoted to guarding the Fang by Logan Grimnar, while the rest of the team Great Companies are going out to snag up the Wolfen and re-equip them and bring him back home. Apparently something's happening at the Fang, because he is in the process of waking up Bajorn back here, because he needs the advice from the oldest, air quotes, living Space Wolf, which would technically be Bajorn. Side note, would Bajorn heresy fist bump some of the Wolfen that he knew from back in the day? I don't know. I'll just leave it here what you think about that one, guys. Hey Bob, what's up? I haven't seen you in 10,000 years. Yeah, not much. I was in the war for a while. Oh, that's cool. I sleep a lot. Word. Oh, that would be a very interesting conversation, I feel like. So that's about it for this one. It's short and sweet. We've covered this thing to death, I feel like, already over the past 2 weeks. The next, whoa, that was super crazy. Not used to this camera. Anywho, we're not going to do that again. Very sensitive camera. Tell a friend. Anyhow, so really interesting issue. I think it's really cool preview-wise. We're going to see a lot more of these guys in the coming weeks, hopefully multiple weeks, at least 1 week. But, 40K is back, and I can't wait to see what comes next.